1, 2, 3, 4. There were birds in the sky, though I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all, till there was you. Of dawn, and too there was love all around, though I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you. Till there was you. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today I'm very excited to share with you one of my favorite songs from the early Beatles catalog, entitled Till There Was You. Now this lesson goes out to Isaac Gonzalez. Thanks so much for putting in a request. If you, the viewers, have a song that you would like for me to teach next, definitely click through the link and put in your request for the coming weeks. Let's get started. Okay, a close look at the fretboard, and we're getting started with our intro section. The chords we're going to be needing: an F major bar chord, an E flat diminished chord, a G minor chord, and a C7 chord, or a C9 chord, whatever you prefer. Okay, with those intro chords down, I'm going to demonstrate my interpretation of the strumming pattern with the F major chord fretted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so on the F major chord, we're simply going down, down, or 1 and 2. Then we're going to transition to the E flat diminished chord and play 3 and 4. 1, 2, and 3 and 4. Then over the G minor chord, kind of a 1 end, so speeding up that second downstroke. A little off time syncopation. And same thing, 3 and 4 on the C7 chord or the C9 chord, depending upon what you prefer. So you put all that together. You can see that I did a little open string upstroke as I transitioned there. Okay, trying to get to that chord as fast as I can. Then, same thing, and maybe I'll throw an upstroke there. That's kind of glue between those things, but they're not necessary. If I'm playing with a whole band, I really don't want to throw in all those upstrokes with the open strings. All right, and that's going to sound great with the lead line over top. Okay, one last time through the strumming pattern, the F major chord, 1, 2, or down, down, and 3 and 4 on the E flat diminished chord. The G minor chord, down, down, 3 and 4 on the C7 chord. Down, 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 up, down, 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 and down, up, down. Okay, so it's over that chord progression: F major, E flat diminished, G minor, and C7 that George throws in this great little lead line. It sounds like this. Okay, and he does that twice on the recorded track. Definitely he does some more fancy stuff on the live versions, which maybe we'll get to. Okay, so the F major chord, we're gonna basically just pick down to the E string, kind of a slow strum, and then play the B string, the G string, and then the third finger is gonna come up to the 4th fret of the D string. And that's gonna kind of match up with that diminished chord. Alright, so the F major chord, strum through, B string, G string, 4th fret, D string. Now the next part, I'm gonna make a little G minor shape. Strum down to the B string. So the pick goes from D to the B string, then go in reverse. So strum to the B string, pluck the G string, pluck the D string, and then put your first finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. Since that's a C note, it probably links right up, right, with the C major or C7 chord. You put all that together. For your intro section. Okay, with your intro complete, ready to move on to the verse section. I'm gonna break down each of these chords for you. There's definitely a bunch that we gotta learn, and I'm sure you're gonna pick up some new shapes along the way. So we're gonna get started with an F major chord. That's gonna be for 4 beats. Next, we have an E flat diminished chord. Many of you are probably playing this for the first time, so I'll give you the fret numbers. We have D string 1, G string 2, B string 1, high E string 2. Putting my first finger on top, my middle finger on the B string, and then my 3rd finger on the G, and my pinky on the high E string. This is every single diminished shape in the book. Okay, so the F major chord, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, E flat diminished. Sometimes some players like to drag this up to the 4th fret, key of F sharp, to add a little extra tension. Before going to a G minor chord, 2 and 3 and 4, and then a B flat minor chord, barring the 1st fret and creating what looks like a little A minor chord shape right there, right? But this is up on the 1st fret, so it's B flat minor. Remember, put your thumb nice and low for extra strength. And if you still aren't getting a nice clean bar chord sound, pull back with both arms, press your chest into the guitar just a little bit to get a little extra pressure on the strings. So far we have F, E flat diminished to the F sharp diminished, G minor, B flat minor. Now my favorite part, something kind of common in the early Beatles tunes, an F major chord comes back just for 2 beats. Then a descending minor line, an A minor, we're fretting the 5th fret, making a little kind of a bar chord based off of E minor, okay? Just want everyone to know, all these bar chords are based off of your open position chords. So, bar on the 5th fret, my 3rd finger is on the 7th fret A string, pinky underneath that, we're gonna go. So that was A minor, G sharp minor, and then G minor. From there, you can do a C7 chord, which I think sounds the best, though some players might choose to do a C9 chord. For those of you who don't know, for this chord, my middle finger is on the A string, 3rd fret, my 1st finger, 2nd fret D string. Then, this is a little tricky, my 3rd finger is draped across, barring the 3rd fret of the G, B, and high E strings. This is every single 9 chord in the book. Very useful shape, especially for blues. Then we're finally back to the F major chord. If this is what you've done for the first time, if you've gone through the verse progression for the first time, you'll throw in a G minor and a C7 at the end just to turn the whole thing back around. Let's put all that together now. F major chord for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. E flat diminished. 1, 2. F sharp diminished. 3, 4. G minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. B minor. B flat minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. F. 1, 2. A minor. G sharp minor. G minor. C7. 1, 2. And then back to the F major chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. G minor. 1, 2. C7. 1, 2. So every first time we go through the verse, we're going to end with that little turnaround. A G minor shape to a C7 shape, just to turn everything around and bring it back to the beginning. But on the second time around, we're going to hold the F major and maybe just take the pinky off to add the tension to drive it towards the chorus. And there was music and wonderful roses, so on and so forth, right? Okay, so the other option that you have, instead of holding out that F major and just doing a simple 7th chord, would be to throw in a more flavorful F9 chord, way up here on the 8th fret. It's that same 9 chord that we learned earlier for C. Here, in this case, my middle finger is on the 8th fret of the A string, first finger on the 7th fret of the D string, and my third finger barring across the G, B, and high E strings with my third finger there, okay? Now I kind of have to collapse my finger backward a little bit, bending it negative across those strings. Making sure to arch my middle finger just enough so that way it clears the A string. These 9 chords definitely take practice and a whole lot of patience. Okay, congrats to everyone who's made it this far. You've got your intro and your verse chords down. We're ready to apply a little bit of a strumming pattern to that verse. I'm gonna give you 2 options. One very simple way, and then another more flavorful Spanish kind of style strumming pattern that you can apply. So with our F major chord, fret it. The easiest strumming pattern to use for this song, is definitely the easiest to sing to, will be our pop strumming pattern. That's simply down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Works throughout the entire progression. Now, if you're looking for something with a little bit more flavor to it and a little bit more accurate, we're going to do a Spanishy style strumming pattern that sounds like this. There were birds on a hill. That's got a really good vibe to it. So the way we do it, we have the F major chord, we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's always good to try to count out loud when you're practicing these strumming patterns. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 or you can just go by direction. Down, up, 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 down, up. And be sure to kind of whip the wrist when you do that up, down. Just like that. Down, up, 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 down, up. Okay, now that you have the basic strumming pattern down, let's see if we can add a little bit of a percussive element to it. We're going to be deadening the strings on many of the downstrokes throughout the pattern. I'll demonstrate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, so very slowly, what is actually going on there is a straight down and upstroke, and then on the second downstroke, I don't squeeze. I just kind of dead fish the strings, that way I block everything. An upstroke, a downstroke dead. An upstroke, a downstroke dead. So far we have. Then one more, finishes the pattern. Down, up, dead, up, dead, up, dead, up. And even that is a very useful pattern, especially for kind of like reggae style tunes. Okay, so just chucking the strings, nice and dead, and then practicing getting the upstroke, engaging the fingers whenever we want to make a clean tone. Okay, so that Spanishy style strumming pattern, one more time, real slow. Down, up, dead, up, dead, up, dead, up. Okay, so you got the basic strumming pattern down, and now we're adding the percussive elements to it. Fantastic. Let's see if we can apply that strumming pattern to all the chords in our verse changes. We have the F major chord, fret it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the E flat diminished. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the G minor. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the B flat minor. The F major chord. 1 and 2 and now the descending minor line. Scratch up, scratch up. The G minor chord. 1 and 2 and the C7 chord. 3 and 4 and back to the F major chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the G minor turnaround, 1 and 2 and then the C7 chord one more time, 3 and 4 and. Okay, so for those of you who are playing this strumming pattern for the first time and just starting to add those percussive elements in, you'll have to go through that very slowly a few dozen times before it starts to feel comfortable. I'm going to demonstrate now at full speed, and this will give you something to shoot for. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have our verse down, we have our strumming pattern pretty well in hand. We're ready to move on to the chorus. The chords are going to be needed. A B flat major chord, 7th fret, major shape. We're going to make that into a minor chord next. Then we're back down to the F major chord, a D7, or you can do a D9 chord. That's the 5th fret with the 9 shape. A G minor. Then we're going to throw in the major 7. My middle finger is here on the 4th fret, D string, and my 3rd finger stays put on the 5. Okay, that's the 5th fret of the A string. Very dissonant chord because it has the minor 3rd in there still, so it's going to gain a lot of tension. Then put the middle finger down 1 string, turn it into a G7, add a little relief, a C7 chord, and then one of my favorite little changes, the G sharp augmented chord. This might be a new one for you. My pinky's on the 6th fret of the D string, my middle finger on the 5th fret G, 5th fret B string, the ring finger, my first finger here on the G sharp, high E string, 4th fret for our augmented shape. You put all that together, we have the B flat major chord, and there was music, the minor and wonderful F chord, roses, they D9, tell me, the G minor, and sweet, flatten that root to the major 7, fragrant meadows, on meadows the 7th chord comes in, G7, of dawn, a C7 chord sounds best, then, and do, our augmented shape. Okay, so you got your chorus chords down. Let's see if we can apply that same Spanish style strumming to each of the chord changes. So getting started with our B flat major chord, we're strumming 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the minor shape, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the F major chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the D7 or D9 chord, the G minor, 1 and 2 and, change things up here. Put that middle finger on the 4th fret of the D string, and then the G7 chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we're on to the C7 chord, gets the same thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Our augmented chord gets the same. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, you put all that together, it's gonna sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're making some real progress. We've added a bunch of chords to our repertoire and really improved our rhythm technique, adding in those percussive elements. Let's move on to the last section of this video, the solo.